A good man can still be the wrong man. What you got to understand is a man could work, love the Lord, treat his mom right, earn good money, and still be the wrong man for you. Now, we talk about looks compatibility over here, a lot of looks compatibility videos, but even beyond looks, a man can look good to you. A man can be a good man and not be a good man for you. Y'all can actually be looks compatible, but not be socially compatible. You can be looks compatible and not be spiritually compatible. You can be looks compatible and not be emotionally compatible. You can be looks compatible and not be financially compatible or family compatible. And let me break that down to you because I know you want a good man. I always hear women say over the last 20 years, Tony, I want a man of God. That's all fine and dandy. He could be a man of God. But is he a man of God for you? Is he the man God has for you? If that's how you believe. Because he can be a good man now. But see, a good man to God might not be always a good man to a woman or to you. He might be too focused on his purpose. He might be too focused on his job. He might be too focused on his family. He doesn't yell. He doesn't curse. He doesn't smoke. He doesn't drink or get drunk. He doesn't gamble or addicted to gambling. Doesn't club. Doesn't cheat. Doesn't lie. Doesn't steal. But yet still is not the man that you need. So when you look at compatibility, you got to think about this holistically and you got to break it down into the different compartments from there. So you can't just look at compatibility as are you compatible and in the area that means the most to you. You have to understand that compatibility, the way that works and the way that goes, that's all around. Like compatibility is a thing that you need multiple components. And there's areas where you can teach and there's areas where you can learn. But what you have to understand about compatibility is there's foundational places that mean the most. There's foundational areas where you have to be able to really see that you are connected there. So for me, I I believe it was 2015. You'll have to go to Amazon and see when I published Single is Not a Curse. And in that book, Single is Not a Curse, go get it if you haven't read it, especially if you're single. Make that a reading for you as you join the destinyapp.com. But in Single is Not a Curse, I talked about the 5 F's. And in them 5 F's, you have faith. Faith is where, and let me jot this down just so I can keep up with them. You have faith, and that's your foundation. That's where what you believe, how you believe. You need to be compatible in your faith. And some people try to do it to where agnostic or atheist with a Christian or Muslim. Some people try to do the Christian and the Muslim thing. Some people, even different denominations, some people 7-day Adventist Christian and the traditional Christian or non denominational Christian. You got Jehovah's Witness, and Mormon. Your faith, that is a foundational belief. That's what you build your life on. So if one of you is building your life around the concept that Jesus Christ is your savior, and the other doesn't believe that Jesus Christ is your savior, then how do you truly build together? What do you tell your children? Imagine the confusion of a child who is being told by one parent that Jesus is a prophet and a good man, but he's not the savior. He's not the son of God. And then being told by the other parent that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. And you cannot get to the Father but by him. That child confused because the child loves both parents, but who to believe? So that's why being compatible in your faith is very important. Now, after faith, we have family. Family is a broad scope here. This is a broad term because on one side of family, it is what family do you want to build? What family do you want to create? And how much family? If one person wants children and the other person doesn't want children, you're not compatible. If one person wants one child and the other person wants 4 children, you're not compatible. If one person wants fur babies, meaning animals as children, and the other person wants real children, real kids, or doesn't want no fur babies, you're not compatible because family is connected to the heart. Family is a through line. How excited are you going to be? How much love will you have? How happy are you in your life? Like family really, really matters. And you got to think about that. Now, on the other side of family is familiar relations. Like, how do you get along with your family? If one of you loves your family, like your mom, dad, brother, sister, cousins, whatever, family reunion every year, family gathering on Sundays, every Sunday or once a month for a big dinner, family coming over to your house, you going over to family house, you talk to your mom every day or dad every day or sister or brother every day, cousin every day, something every day. And the other person is like, I ain't got nothing to do with my family. I don't want nothing to do with my family. And I don't want you to have a whole bunch to do with your family because that's a thorn in my side and that's going to make me feel away. And that's going to make me feel like an outcast or a third wheel or alienated or ostracized or jealous. So I want somebody who is not that close to their family and want to come together with me and we start a family and we separate ourselves and distance ourselves for good from our family because my relationship with my family is not good. If that's y'all dynamic, you're not compatible. So again, he can be a good man and not be the right man. Now, the next thing is finances. So, and these could be out of order. You got to read the book. Single is not a curse to see. But finances, that wraps around what are your beliefs around money? If one of you believe in the cash in the envelope system and no credit cards and a strict tight budget, the nest egg or safety net or $1,000 and then $10,000. And then the other is like YOLO. You only live once, ball out, run it up, charge them credit cards. If you can't pay it, file for bankruptcy. Woohoo, ski wee. We living. You not compatible. It'll be like pulling teeth. Y'all will be fighting, knock down, drag out, pretty much hating each other. Finances ain't compatible. On the other side of that, if one of y'all make 20,000 to 50,000 and the other one make 150, 200,000, we got a problem. We got a problem in the city now because what's going on? That money so far apart. Can we relate? Can we even get along? That money's so far apart. Like, what we gonna do? What we gonna do? I don't know now. Can we even do this? So you got to think about it. So, are you compatible in your finances? The other thing is, which is a big one, is fitness. And you have to think about, are we compatible as it relates to fitness? One person want to work out 5 days a week. The other person don't work out. Y'all ain't compatible. You're going to see life totally different. Got a fit mentee. He's like, no, I refuse to be with a woman who is 50 pounds overweight, because he believes that speaks to how she loves herself, how she views herself, how she treats herself. He believes that if she 50 pounds overweight, that she's not living her life right, loving herself enough, not serious enough about her life. And that's his belief. And he's a good man. Could make a great husband, could make a great father, but doesn't mean he'll be a good man for you if y'all fitness goals don't align or fitness beliefs don't align. And then lastly, you have friends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 5 F's. Friends, if one of you believe no friends, I don't want no friends, we need to be best friends, and the other believes, hey, we need to have a robust social life. You need to have a guy's night every week. I need to have a girl's night every week, or vice versa. You need to have a girl's night every week. I need to have a guy's night every week. Friends. Friends could come over anytime. Friends could stay the night. We need to do couples nights. We need to do couples game nights, couples date nights, couples yacht trips, couples this and that. All that. So if that's how you see it, y'all are not compatible. Y'all gonna have some issues. So I'm using them 5 F's, and you can add whatever else in there. Insurance company I'm dealing with, I think friends not in there, but I think fun is. And so that's something different. But so I could add fun to my list and it'd be the 6 F's. But think about that now. Think about that. So here you have it, to where you got a good man, treat you right, do right by you, but y'all just ain't compatible. Now I'm gonna tell you, like me and my wife, we got the same faith. We have the same pretty much relationship with our family. We spend our money bad. Got the same financial situation in a sense. So my wife, she could save a little bit or whatever, but she like to spend, especially if I'm earning. She like to spend. If she see it as her money, she could save it. Fitness, we about the same in fitness. Like Don't work out too much, but when we need to lose some weight, we know how to turn it on, kick it into high gear. And then friends, same thing. Like, I'm not crazy about guys' nights. She ain't crazy about girls' nights. Like, so on all of the foundational F's, and realize foundational stand with an F too. So on the foundational 5, we compatible in all 5. But we different in a lot of ways too. But it's not the foundation. So my wife, she vocal at the soccer games. I'm quiet. So, but that's not a foundational thing. Um, I'm a sexual, touchy-feely type of person. She's not. But that's not a foundational thing. I mean, yeah, that does matter and all of that, but it's like she okay with me touching on her and grabbing her and squeezing her booty or whatever. When I want to be intimate, she okay with it, but she just not the type that's gonna initiate it. 90% of the time, she not gonna initiate it. I have to initiate it. That's my personality. I want to initiate it. She don't stop me when I initiate it. Like she is okay with it, but she rather be in that position of being the receiver instead of being the pursuer. And so that's one of those things. And I share that to say that that's probably why we've been married over 19 years, is because in them foundational F's, we are compatible. So what you got to realize is that you can't get caught up and get stuck on the fact that he's a good man, because he can be a good man, but he may need to be a good man for somebody else. He could be a good man and not be your man. And once you come to terms with that and you realize that, that's when you have a little bit more power, a little bit more understanding. You're able to move a little different, move a little better in your life, because now you really understand. Now you're starting to get it. Now it's starting to make sense. Now it's starting to hit you. And you starting to realize and see and understand, like, oh, you know what? Yeah, this is a situation where I need to recognize and realize that it's a difference between a good fit and a great fit. It's a difference between a good man and a good man that's for you. And the thing about it is you got to be okay to wish him well on his way. And a good man may not understand why you not head over heels for him. He may not understand why you not kissing the ground he walk on. He may even hit you with, oh, I can have any woman I want. Oh, it's so many women out here that want me. What do you mean you don't want me? What do you mean? What do you mean we're not a fit? What do you mean we're not compatible? And some men have gone to the red pill community because of that. They done gone to the red pill because they were left by a woman who was with them and was in a situation where the woman was with them, but the woman said, hey, I don't think we'll fit. I don't think we'll match. Let's go on about our business. And the man, like, what? You dumping me? Like, you breaking up with me? Like, what the world? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, what you on? And the man can't believe it, because he thinking it's his job, it's his place to lead her. And he don't understand her leaving him. And that right there, that can cause a little shakeup. And that has birthed some of the red pill creators. Being a good man, but not being the right man for the woman that they wanted. And here's the thing. What matters to men and women are different things. So for a man, a man might see a lot of women the same. Like, he may just be like, hey, I need a woman that is beautiful, fit, and submissive. And that's it. But the woman may have more specifications that she want in a man. The woman may be like, listen, I need a man that's going to pray with me, pray over me, a man that go to church every Sunday, a man who is strong and confident and I feel could stand up for me and speak up for me and fight for me if need be. Need a man that's romantic, that's got a strong caress, gonna rub my back, massage my back, make sweet love. Like, the woman may have other things that she wants that this man just doesn't do, or he's just not that man. But he's not a bad man. He's not cursing her out. He's not cheating on her. He paid for the dates, but he just missing those other things that make her feel like a woman, that make her feel like she's in her feminine, resting in her femininity, and like he's in his masculine. And so she may say, I need something stronger, need something different. And he's like, well, what's wrong with me? I'm treating you like a queen. And she like, how we define queen is different. And that happens. So you got to be able to realize that a good person doesn't necessarily equal a good partner. And a good partner doesn't necessarily equal a good partner for you. Somebody could be a great partner, but for somebody else. So there could be a woman who, let's say, she cook, she clean, or whatever, but she just hovering. She more so like a mom. She's a good person, but she just self-esteem ain't all the way there, just not trusting, just very clingy, just can't trust nothing, can't believe nothing, can't give no room to breathe. Like, I can't go on no solo trip to reset, do me a sabbatical, reset my mind, game plan, map out my strategy. Can't do that because she ain't with it. She don't understand it. She don't get it. Well, guess what? Could be a great person, but not the person for me. So remember, like what I tell you on this stuff, whatever I'm speaking about it from a male perspective. I'm teaching from the male perspective, but you may sometimes have to invert it and just flip it, because the same thing applies for women. A woman could be a great woman, but not the woman that man needs, but is a great woman, is a great person, is a great partner, but not the great partner or the partner that person needs. And so that's something that we don't oftentimes understand, that we need to. We don't oftentimes get that. And that's something that you got to wrap your head around and get to that place to where you can understand that it may be painful and you may be hurt because you got left or you got to leave because it's just not all the way a fit, but that comes with it. It comes with it, and you got to be okay with that. You got to be willing to move forward. You got to be willing to do what it takes, do what's required of you. And you got to be real with yourself. And here's the key though. When you look at somebody, when you look at this man and you say, you know what, he's a good man. He's a good man. He also seems like he could be a good partner, but he's not feeling right for me. You gotta get to your root. And you got to make sure that your assessment is rooted in reality. See, a lot of people's assessment isn't rooted in reality. So if you say, "Oh, he's a good man, but he doesn't make my heart sing. He doesn't make me feel like this, make me feel like that." You got to realize like why you feeling like that to begin with. You got to realize, are you freak nasty? Is he a normal guy and doing normal stuff, but you want to be tied to the ceiling fan and spun round? And just every time you swing around, he get a little quick lick or a little quick stick. And you just want too much. You gotta really realize, like, okay, you watching Instagram and TikTok, like, do you want this man who work a regular good job to buy you a Birkin bag when that's a third of his annual income? Like, because you watch this young lady on TikTok who got a bunch of Birkins. Like, you gotta look and realize, like, what do you want and why do you want it? And what is making you feel like y'all aren't compatible? And is it because of material things or superficial things? Or is it literally foundational differences that make y'all very different? And that's what has to be understood. And that's where you got to be real with yourself at. And that's where a lot of people go wrong. And so when you hear this thing of, I heard a young lady on a viral clip and she was saying, women are stupid and messing stuff up because a woman will just wake up one day and say, I'm leaving because I'm not happy. And we'll beat people up over that. We'll beat people up over leaving because they're not happy. But and yes, once you get married, you shouldn't just leave just because your fancy isn't being tickled. But what that is sometimes, that I'm not happy, what that is you're a good person, just not a good person for me. That's what that is. And people say like, I'm not happy, which makes everybody think that you're putting your happiness on your spouse as it's their responsibility to make you happy. And what you could actually be saying is just, we're not compatible. So therefore, my heart is not singing. Like, I'm not happy and excited about this relationship because we're not compatible, but they're an amazing person. And that's where you got to be able to get that clarity, and you got to be able to express and explain that you left or you're leaving because you're not actually compatible with the person that you met who happens to be a good person. And once you can explain it like that versus I'm just leaving because I'm not happy, then people can start to understand where you're coming from and what you mean. And that's where we go wrong at it. And I feel like we have to be careful with those labels and just kind of painting with a broad stroke of like, oh yeah, because sometimes it is a legitimate concern. It is a thing to where, okay, are we really compatible? But this is a thing too that you have to understand, and I'm gonna wrap this on up, is there's a root to everything. So you could wish that your spouse is more sexual and like come on to you more and give you more sex. But a lot of times that comes from childhood trauma. That comes from being objectified or sexualized as a child. And we don't realize where that comes from. And so we want this other thing that we don't have, but not realizing that what we have actually comes from more of a pure place, more of a clean place. And what we asking for is really somebody that's a little deranged, somebody that's a little throwed off, somebody that's that got a story to tell. And we don't even realize what we asking for because we think it's compatibility, but what we truly are asking for is excitement, and somebody to excite us, and somebody to turn us on, and somebody to keep us going, and somebody to, make us feel those butterflies, when what we really need is safety, security, consistency. But instead, we want a spark, we want a thrill, we want to see fireworks. So think this through. Listen to it 2 more times. If it ain't sank in, if you ain't get it. God bless you. Appreciate you being on here. All the important links in the description. Shout out to all my supporters. Keep your head up, and we'll talk soon.